Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for those who have been here before, and welcome to those who have not. My name is Janae and I'm the owner of Confidently You Creations. And so for today's tutorial we are going to be doing a matte leopard tumbler. I wonder where I got my inspiration from, you know? Like, I don't know, just kind of hit me. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a matte finish tumbler from start to finish. Honestly, it is super easy. It's something great for beginners to do. So please watch to the end of the video to where you can see the ending result of how this tumbler came out. Please go ahead and jingle my bells here to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And as always, drop your information down in the comments section if you know anybody who makes these awesome dad hats. This one I actually got from Dash Monograms, and it's like cheetah print and it has my initials all over it. Anyways, I will drop that information down below for you guys to check it out, for you cheetah print lovers. So yeah, I may also have some other discount codes down in the comment section of where I got any type of my glitters. The decals for the cups, I partnered with a glitter company to give you guys a discount code, so please check that out at the bottom to get a discount off of your glitter. So I guess I've talked enough, so let's go ahead and get into our tutorial. Hello guys. All right, so as always we start off with a fully sanded and prepped tumbler. I have spray painted this with Rust-Oleum's champagne pink spray paint, and if you want to know how I prep my tumblers, the video is up on the right hand corner. And you also want to go ahead and spray paint your decals, so your leopard spots and the words that you're going to put on there, you spray paint them with a matte white or whatever color you're doing, a matte white spray paint. Since this is a matte tumbler, you want everything to be matte. You don't want the letters to appear glossy. You want them to appear at a matte finish. You want to, again, spray paint your decals and your leopard spots while they are not weeded. If you weed them prior to, you're going to like pick up pieces of spray paint and it can create a mess actually. So just be aware of that. So once you've got everything weeded out, you're going to want to go ahead and place it on your tumbler. So you do not have to place a first coat of epoxy on this. We just spray painted. That was it. So we're going to be placing this on the spray painted tumbler. So be very, very careful with sharp instruments around it. You can scratch it. If you're going to use your weeding tool or your crafting knife, please be very, very careful around these matte tumblers. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go ahead and line up my decal that I'm going to place on there first. So you want to place the words on there first before you place the leopard print. Therefore, you can place the leopard print around your decal. And I believe I printed this decal at about 2.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches in length. This tumbler actually came from Michael's. This was one that I just had kind of laying around, and I figured this will be perfect for this design. So this is about 18 ounces as far as the tumbler. So 2.5 and 2.5 as far as the measurement to go to kind of just create a nice box on the face of it. And as you can see, once you place it on there, you want to measure it to make sure it is nice and even. So it was 1 inch on all 3 sides, the left, the middle, and the right. And so I knew that it was centered. I am always fighting with my contact paper or my transfer paper. After I reuse this box that I purchased, I'm going to be purchasing a different transfer paper. So if you guys know a good transfer paper, please drop it in the comment section for me. I am always willing to try new things. But anywho, we're going to use a hinge method to put this bad boy on like we always do, especially with larger decals and pictures. So you'll just cut 1/2 off, place it on there, and then you will go in and you will take the other half off, and then you will place that on there just to make sure nothing is, going to move, and just making sure everything is going to stay in its proper place that we put it in. Okay. So again, you want to carefully do this because you do not want to peel up your decal or any paint. So please be very, very careful again when doing these matte tumblers. Make sure you get all your bubbles out and you are good to go. So now for the leopard spots, you can hand place them on there, which I did for some, and then you can use your transfer paper for like some of the more smaller ones or some that has like 3 in 1 spot. But I didn't want too many leopard print spots because my shirt does not have leopard print, but when you see somebody with leopard print, you know they mean business. So I had to add some leopard print to the tumbler. So I just kind of spaced mine out a little bit. I didn't want them too close together. I just wanted to add just some depth to the cup and just make it not look so plain. So you'll see me just kind of adding some of the leopard spots around, and then I did use some transfer paper for some of the ones that had 2 spots. I did actually spray paint this before I weeded it, but I was just very careful. I spray painted it after I weeded the leopard spots, but I was very careful as to not to get any of that extra spray paint that was around, as you saw on that transfer tape, to get on the tumbler. I didn't want any of the excess spray paint to get on the pink. So just keep that in mind. That's why I said in the beginning to make sure you spray paint before you weed your stencils, okay? So place however many you want to on the cup. I'm just going to fast forward through this to where you guys can see how I did it. Be very careful, again, as far as to not to lift any of the, once you place it on there, depending on what type of spray paint you use, not to lift the spray paint off of the tumbler. Oh, and here's a fun part. We have a little intruder. Do you see that hand right there to the left? Yep, that was my daughter. She wanted to see what I was doing and try to grab everything off of the table. I just thought that was funny and just keep it in the video to where you guys can see the struggles behind the camera. But yes, so we're going to go ahead and keep placing those leopard spots until everything is perfect and you've just kind of, got the look that you were ultimately going for. Alrighty, so now it's time to go ahead and place our coats of epoxy. I did, since we don't have any glitter on this, I did do 3 coats of epoxy. You do not have to, you can just do 2, but I felt comfortable to just go ahead and do 3 because usually, we'll place 2 coats of epoxy over our glitter, decal, and then we'll place more epoxy layers on top. So I did want to make sure I covered this epoxy to protect it, and I did use 3 coats of epoxy. You want to place your First coat, let that dry for about 6 to 8 hours, and then you want to go ahead and place your second coat, letting that also dry for about 6 to 8 hours. And your final coat, you want to make sure it is completely cured before you go to this next step of your sanding. So let that sit for about 12 to 24 hours, and then you'll move on to this part. So we're going to use Barkeeper's Friend to do our sanding. And then we're going to use a steel wool little bar thingy, and then we're just going to go to town on this tumbler. So on this part, we are basically taking away the shininess of the tumbler. That is how we get the matte finish. It does not mean that the tumbler is any more vulnerable or it's going to break easily, it's going to chip easily. We're just taking the shininess off of it. Okay. So you're going to give this a little elbow grease, not vigorously like scrubbing, but you are going to add a little bit of pressure to this, and just go in circular motions all the way around the cup. You do not have to add water to this. You just do it with the Barkeeper's Friend and your steel wool, and then you just go to town on it. You'll repeat this process until you've reached the finish that you're looking for. You'll rinse this off, you'll get it bone dry, and you'll see any glossy spots that you missed, and then you'll just repeat the same process over again. And honestly, once you finish with this, you're done. Like, that's it. That's why I said this was pretty easy, as long as you follow the steps, and to make sure you don't scratch it. And if you do scratch it, the great thing about it is you can just apply another coat of epoxy and then you can try again. If you didn't have the correct materials, you can go back to the store, get your Barkeeper's Friend and some steel wool and try again. But other than that, guys, this is pretty much it. Once I rinsed this tumbler off and got it dry, it was finished. It was done. So I will go ahead and show you guys the ending results of our tumbler. So here it is, our final result from our matte tumbler tutorial for today. Thank you guys so much who have stayed to the end of this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And if you missed our last video, please feel free to click the link to the right to catch our latest video. We upload every Friday, so see you next week.